Well, shortly I have a new book coming out called The Sacred Revival, Magic, Mind and Meaning in a Technological Age. So I was just thinking perhaps I'll talk a little bit about that and what is sacred. In the introduction, I quoted Gregory Bateson, who said that the sacred, whatever that means, is surely related somehow to the beautiful, whatever that means. And if we could say how they are related, we could perhaps say what the words mean. Or perhaps that would never be necessary. So that's perhaps the closest we can get to what the sacred is in words, whatever that means. I call it the sacred revival because for me the sacred has always been an energy which exists within humankind, exists within life, because life is sacred. I call it the revival because in my sense that recognition is coming back. I'm talking more about the longish term, not right today or tomorrow. But I sense that through humanity, those aspects which have always been sacred will come back into focus. Perhaps because as the world becomes more automated, the question of what is humanity and what is our role will probably come back into focus. But not only because of that. For example, the concept of technology has a strong place in the book because I don't wish to separate it as technology and humanity as two different things. Because, as I point out in the book, technologies have been a form or been associated with transcendence and salvation for millennia. In fact, as I talk about, the early, let's say, church fathers, put it another way, horrible word, but let's say the ecclesiastical religious people, they were experimenting a lot with what they called the mechanical arts. And they saw technologies or the mechanical arts as a way to try to ascend the human, to know more about human potentials. And there was dabbling in all these inventions, whether there was the mechanical Turk invention, there was the early days of calculus, there was even early days of robotics, even the early kind of dabblings of Raymond Lully. So in a sense, technology has always been a question of what makes us human as well. And so, as I talk about in the book, as the technology become more pervasive and they are becoming a part of our infrastructure, our environment, and our interaction as humans, then I think we will start to see them as being therefore a natural, not natural, but they become a part of our future path and how we evolve, that we're not going to go away from technology, we're going to go forward, and how we absorb it into our humanity. Also in the book, there's an emphasis on a lot of the new cultural memes coming about. Because I asked the question, where have all the gods gone? Because we have been separating ourselves from the gods for centuries, in fact. In the beginning, when we had the pantheon of the many gods, whether they be the Greek or the Roman or the Egyptian gods, we had gods living amongst humanity, and they were with us. And then when the monotheistic wave came, then we had God, whatever that means, as being an entity separate, higher up, on the cloud, so to speak. And it separated humanity. And since then, we've been, I think, expanding that divide. But in the cultural memes, we now have gods coming back into circulation, perhaps through a lot of these, I think, superhero memes, and we are seeing whether the films about Thor and those gods, or whether the semi-godlike potentials of mutant evolved humanity. And so these themes for me are actually showing that there's a mutation going on within the human species that is showing us we have godlike powers or potential, or those powers which we used to associate with the gods. So rather now the way forward is an internal mutation through humanity to get closer to our ascendants. So, and then you have science as well, all the latest information in science that telling us that we don't have this separation from the Big Bang and matter. We now have this non-local consciousness field, and so which is a responsive reality, a participatory universe, not just an observer's universe. So if you put all these things together, we have pervasive technology which have always been associated with human transcenders through mechanical arts and religion. We have the mutation of humanity becoming godlike from within. We have science, and the new science telling us that we are a participatory part of a responsive reality. Then these are all ideas and concepts which at one time were sacred, but now I feel are all coming together and shifting our worldview, our perspective, into unfolding a reality which contains all the sacredness which we had before in different parts, but is going to come more as an integral worldview. It probably sounds like a weird mosaic, but I try to tackle that in chapters throughout the book. So yeah, what is the sacred? I think I'll just end on saying I quite agree with what Gregory Bateson said, and that is, whatever the sacred is, it's pretty close to the beautiful.